Hi guys, welcome to another exciting mini tutorial. This is a really simple one. So a lot of people have asked me how do you disable run mode? So how do you stop people from sort of clicking down that stick on the left controller to move faster? Good usages of that would be that in, for example, parkour worlds, people always often complain that their thumbs are getting quite sore because they're having to keep clicking down that stick and hold it all the time. It's causing them some stick drift and all sorts of nonsense. So if you did want a game that everyone is sort of moving at the same speed, regardless of whether or not they're running, we can sort of fundamentally disable run mode. So what we're going to need today is the desktop editor, obviously with Visual Studio Code installed. Hopefully you've all done that by now. And also going to be doing just a very small amount of TypeScript. Now we're going to be doing this when the player enters the world, but you could technically do this on a trigger as well if you wanted to. So here we go. So what we're going to do is we have a spawn point just here, which is as good as an object as any to actually assign a new script to. So we're going to click on that just here, and then you'll notice that there's an attach script button that appears just here, and we hit this attach script button, which then pops this thing open, and we hit new script. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to assign a new name. So disable run, I'll call this. Okay, and when we create an attach, it should pop up. Well, it creates the script in the background. We then have to actually open it to edit it. Automate. Yeah, so if I now go into, you can see it's put this disable run thing just here, just above the attach script button. And if I now click the dot next to it, it can edit that script. So here we go. Get ready, it's about to get exciting. So you can see that's now popped open the editor. So I'm just going to sort of move this about. Okay guys, so now we've done this, very simply. First, we're going to add a new function. Okay, it's going to be called pre-start. And those of you who've seen the earlier examples of me doing this, you'll know exactly what pre-start is. It simply is documented as it runs before the start event. That's all there is to it, but it's a great place to wire up these sorts of events. And then we're going to connect a code block event. So we'll do that now. So this dot code, and again, let the code completion work for you. You can see it's actually giving me suggestions here. So if I press tab there, great, open, and then you could see, well, the target is going to be this, I believe, and this dot entity. Okay. And then the next thing is the actual event that we're catching. So that's a code block event. So that's going to be hz dot and code block events, the S on the end. Okay, and then that's going to be on player enter world. Okay, just press tab there and that'll actually select that. Great. Okay. Okay guys, so what we do now is when we've got that on player enter world, we're simply going to say, well, this dot on player, actually, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to copy and paste this share, give it a lowercase o, okay, and then also bind, open, this, like so. Now that's going to complain, of course, because there is no such method as on player enter world. So if I just grab this and put this down here, wait with, and then we're going to say player, which is of type player, okay, and then open close curly brackets. There we go. Wonderful. So there you go. To now bend the on player enter world event to this. This should look quite familiar if you've seen any of my other tutorials, of course. So the next thing we're going to do is we're simply going to, well, first of all, I'm going to show you what happens, okay? So if I come into the world, you actually see, look, I have to just, sorry, like this. So you can see here that if I'm walking, this is me at walking pace, okay? But if I hold down the run button, which is the shift on the keyboard in an about, you can see I do actually break into a sprint, which is great. Okay, and same with my character here, okay? If I go over here and click that button down, you can see I do actually move a little bit, a little bit faster, a bit, like a run, alright? Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to add the last bit in here. So we've got the player object, which we've defined just here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say, well, player dot and then sprint multiplier. We're going to set that to 1. Perfect. Okay, so we just kind of hit save on that and then we wait for it to sort of process. Okay, and then we're just going to come out of here. Let's have a look what happens. So if I run in here, now walk, and you can see when I'm running, I don't actually move any faster. I'm hitting the shift button. It was making absolutely no change to my speed. And likewise, if I do this in VR as well. Oh, actually, I think I might need to restart the world simulation. Let me just, do this. So if I hit the now restart button, which I don't know if I'm showing you right now, but it's at the top right next to the world sim. So if I just restart that, let me turn the world sim on, off and back on again. And I wonder what happens, guys. Can I now disable this? Yeah, okay. So now, no matter how easy it is, I click the button or hold the button down, I'm actually not getting it faster. So it effectively cancelled any notion of running in this level now. You can't run, which is good fun. Right, okay. So if I just come out of here a sec now, the final bit I'm going to show you is that to sort of hard code that value. It's probably not the best practice in the world. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this back up again. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to define the multiplier as a property, okay? So to do that, quite simply, I'm just going to copy this sprint multiplier here. It's not important that I call it the same, but you know, why not? Let's be consistent. So the property here will be called, let's just bring this down here, sprint multiplier. And then that's going to be, shady braces open, close that. So I'm going to say that is a type. Type of, let's create HZ dot prop, prop types, yeah. And then dot, and it's going to be a number to be known, it's a numeric type. Okay. So we're then also going to say, well, the default I know, if we just run down here, the sprint multiplier, okay? If we hover over there, it actually says the default is 1.4. So I'm going to set the default to 1.4 up top. 1.4. Oops. Now because, well, you see what happens now. Sorry, take that semicolon off. There we go. Oh, and there it wants a semicolon there. Let's put that there. Wonderful. Okay, let's just let that run and see what happens. Now, if this has worked, it should. I check this property here. Let's move this across. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this across to like here, just so you can see. So you can actually see the sprint multiplier is defaulting to this 1.4 value that we're putting. But I can actually change that. So against here, I'm going to put in, well, let's test it first. So, if I just restart the world, should be able to see. Oh, I see what I haven't done here, guys. I'm stupid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up that Typescript again. I need to bring through the prop dot this dot props. Okay, dot sprint multiplier. We'll just let that save, so give it a few seconds and watch the indicator at the top. I'm just gonna restart that world as well. Okay, and then we're gonna hit play. So you'll notice, yeah, I can now run again. That's great. I can run this. I try running here as well. You should be able to see me now. yeah, definitely running as I come back. Also running quite fast, but also able to walk. Cool, okay. But now if I just come out of here. So what I'm going to do is, if I check on this, where I've attached the script to this disable one, if I set the sprint multiplier now to 50, no, we're doing this without them. Okay, so I'm just going to save that, and I'm just going to stop and start the world again, and try just pan there a sec. This is going to be funny. Oh, okay. Jeez. Okay, that's funny. So by setting it to 50, basically the run mode has now set me to move at 50 times the speed, which is obviously not great. That's not what I wanted to. But yeah, that's I could set that back to, we'll see, 1. Okay, and then just stop and start the world, and you'll actually see that if I want to run this, and now, oh, that didn't quite take him. Sorry, my bad. Oops. That's hilarious. And you'll go stop and start the world, and I will. So there we go. That's better. So now if I come back into here, you should notice. Yeah, I'm now running at the same speed that I walk. So that's cool. Okay, so that's basically it in a nutshell, guys. Let's just bring it in close to the finale. So yeah, that's how you disable run mode in Verizon Mills. Enjoy. Hope that was a good, concise, but thorough detail. Obviously, click like and share this with your friends, etc. Do consider a subscribe. It costs nothing and it helps me out a lot. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again for another quick one. All right. See you later. Bye bye.